July 7, 2005.
What the hell is this?
Maya Airways A-enter for turboprop explodes after taking off from Indore Airport. 54 people died in this bloody plane crash. Investigators must find out what caused the plane to explode.
Have you turned on the engines?
Yeah, bro.
The Soviet turboprop aircraft of Maya Airways is preparing to operate Flight 639 on the route Indore Airport, Clark Airport. The plane is evacuating people from the southwestern part of Maya, not far from the Indore Airport. There was an uprising of the Western Maya. Because of their shelling of villages, it was necessary to evacuate local residents by plane. The captain's chair is occupied by Adam. He flew 2,167 hours. The co-pilot's seat is occupied by Ollie. He flew 1,879 hours. The flight engineer's seat is occupied by Ahmed. He flew for 1,993 hours. The seat of the radio operator is occupied by Mohammed. He flew for 2,012 hours. The navigator's chair is occupied by Alisha. He flew for 2,002 hours. There are also 48 passengers and 1 flight attendant on board.
Okay, let's take off. Throttle up.
Throttle is up.
Climbing.
Landing gear is up.
The plane gains altitude and rises to an altitude of 2,343 meters. Everyone on the plane is worried that they might be shot down by a missile.
Ross, what was that? What the hell is this?
Marine, pull up!
All 6 crew members and 48 passengers died in this plane crash. The residents of Maya had the impression that the plane was shot down by a missile from the Western Maya troops as the plane was flying near the military front line. Investigators arrive at the crash site and found that the tail and cockpit of the aircraft were relatively intact. The middle part was completely destroyed and only the wings remained. The cockpit voice recorder was destroyed and the investigators could not decipher it. The flight data recorder was found, but it did not provide any information about the destruction of the aircraft. He only thought the information that everything was fine before the destruction of the aircraft. While the families of the passengers who died in the plane crash are demanding compensation from West Maya, investigators have questioned local farmers who singled out the plane crash.
The plane was flying and everything was fine when suddenly it exploded and fell apart.
All the farmers who were questioned confirmed that the plane exploded. 5 farmers claimed that they saw an object flying into the plane that resembled a rocket. Investigators have been studying this tragedy for almost a year, but there was no evidence that the plane was shot down by a missile. The investigators decide to check the passenger and crew list one more time. But when viewing the passenger list ...
Look, he has an European appearance.
Investigators found that one of the passengers who was sitting by the wing had a European appearance. Mostly on West Maya, their residents had a European appearance, and this passenger also had errors in the questionnaire he was writing. It was immediately obvious that he did not know the language of the Oriental Mayas. It was also written in his questionnaire that he was carrying only 1 suitcase with him, while other passengers were carrying 3 to 5 suitcases each because they were moving to a completely unfamiliar place, which caused investigators to have a very strong suspicion of this passenger. The SBI Terrorist Investigation Organization also joined the investigation. SBI, with the help of a dog, discovered that the smell of the bomb was in the direction of the plane, which could confirm the explosion of the bomb. The cause of the crash was the explosion of a C4 bomb, which was detonated by suicide bomber Brian, who was originally from West Maya. The government of the Eastern Maya paid the families of the victims only $3,000 each, which was very small, but for the Southwestern Maya, whose salary was only $100 per month, it was a lot of money. 2 years after the plane crash, the war ended. Everything became calm on the entire mainland of Maya. But the whole of Maya will not be able to forget this plane crash, especially the families of the dead passengers and crew.